A lot of money and power can always be found right next to each other. The more wealth one has, the more they want it. Why is it like that? As soon as they don't have the opportunity to control political and economic processes, they can lose their fortune in a matter of seconds. Therefore, billionaires strive to accumulate a lot of money, which can be enough for several future generations. And this is how the most influential clans that rule the whole world appeared in the past. Keeping in mind the fact that the constitutional monarchy can be found in the UK even today, the Royal Windsor Dynasty is one of the richest and most influential families in Europe. Let's start with the fact that this family has German roots. In 1917, at the height of the First World War, anti-German sentiments in British society were growing rapidly. It was the moment when local people suddenly remembered that all the inhabitants of Buckingham Palace were real Germans. At that time, King George V decided to give his family the Windsor surname to differ from the German royal relatives. Since then, the Windsor dynasty has been a symbol of Great Britain. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth can be seen not only on the national currency, but also on the bodies of the British people. Many of them cover their bodies with the image of the Queen. Such things as castles, luxury cars, exclusive jewelry, and incredibly valuable works of art can be found among the members of the royal family. In addition, their lives are always the subject of close attention of journalists and are discussed far beyond the borders of the country. The whole world is following the development of relations between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and Prince William's family is always in the spotlight. After the funeral of Elizabeth I, her eldest son, 73-year-old Charles III, became the new king. British society has long wondered whether it is worth spending so much money to ensure the luxurious life of the royal family. However, Queen Elizabeth was a real icon for most Britons. Local people are very reserved about Charles III, so it is quite possible that the political system of the United Kingdom may soon change. However, the influence of the Windsors has rather a symbolic character today. There are much more influential families in the world. The Koch brothers are the richest businessmen in America, who, thanks to their wealth, have quite a strong influence on the government. As you probably know, there are 4 Koch brothers, but Charles and David became the most famous. Their father, Fred, used his knowledge in the field of chemical engineering to develop an improved method of converting oil into gasoline. Fred Koch was very demanding in the upbringing of his sons. Charles was prepared to become a successor of the Koch family, and he became the president of the family business after his father. David and his twin brother Bill got positions in the company. However, when there was a conflict between the twins, Charles sided with David and fired Bill. Today, Koch Industries is one of the most successful and profitable companies in the world. It is actively developing the field of energy, chemicals, agriculture, finance, and electronics. Koch Industries produces everything from toilet paper to steaks. But most often the Koch brothers are remembered when it comes to politics. During the Obama era, their political network grew to enormous proportions when the Koch family spent hundreds of millions of dollars to support conservative ideas and candidates. The most interesting thing is that projects on green energy and alternative fuel sources have been developing in the world for a long time. But they are not useful for the Koch brothers because they can lose their wealth and influence. Greenpeace accused the couple of transferring huge sums to groups that deny climate change. In addition, we can't be sure that the Koch brothers clearly sided with the conservatives. Rather, they defend exclusively their own interests. But their influence on political processes in the United States cannot be underestimated. The Walton family, which owns the largest American retail chain called Walmart, has been topping the list of the richest families in the world for several years in a row. It all started in the 40s, when Sam Walton opened his first store, and then continued to open them again and again. Unlike other discount retailers, Sam Walton ran a group of stores in small towns using the so-called privacy strategy. In the 90s, his business model began to expand in Mexican, Canadian, Chinese, German, and English markets. The Walmart network has made products of well-known brands more accessible to the mass audience. It is worth noting that his fortune and influence would have been even greater if the owner of the chain had not changed the philosophy of saving money, which was professed by the founder of Walmart, Sam Walton. As of today, about a quarter of the Waltons' family fortune is invested outside in real estate and index funds. Also, the Waltons own the Denver Broncos National Football League team, hold music festivals, and organize exhibitions of expensive historical artifacts in their own museum. The royal family of Dubai is one of the most famous and influential royal dynasties in the world. It heads the state of the United Arab Emirates and plays an important role in world politics and economy. The royal family of Dubai consists of several branches, including the family of the ruler of Dubai and the family of the ruler of Abu Dhabi. Both rulers are members of the UAE Federal Council, which deals with legislation and regulation of important areas of the economy and politics in the country. One of the most famous figures in the royal family of Dubai is Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. He is the ruler of Dubai and vice president of the UAE. He is a key figure in the management of Dubai's economy and infrastructure, and is also involved in the development and implementation of innovative initiatives such as the Dubai Innovation Fund. Dubai is one of the most developed cities in the Middle East and the Persian Gulf region, with a strong financial and banking sector, as well as major ports. However, this was not always the case. The rapid development of the UAE began in the 70s when the countries united and created the UAE as a single state. Since then, the UAE has undergone huge changes and has become one of the most developed and prosperous countries in the Middle East. Of course, one of the main factors that helped the country develop so rapidly was the oil industry. But instead of just selling oil and living a luxurious life, the royal family of Dubai developed the tourism sector and many other fields. They have invested in many projects of global importance, and today the rulers of the Arab Emirates cannot be ignored. As of today, the Rothschilds have been considered the most influential clan in the world for several centuries. They are the main characters of many conspiracy theories. Many believe that it is this family that rules the world from behind the scenes. Their secret influence began to be talked about back in the 19th century. They are accused of running organizations such as the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the central banks of various countries. The basis of the Rothschilds' wealth is their financial business. The family controls several large banks around the world and has significant investments in various industries, including oil, gas, gold, and other valuable metals. They are also the largest creditors of governments and large corporations. One of the representatives of the family, Guy de Rothschild, decided to answer all the accusations of conspiracy theorists. He wrote the book called Through the Looking Glass, The Rothschilds. In his book, he tells in detail about how the family runs its business and what principles they use to become successful. He says that the key factor in the success of the Rothschilds is strategic thinking and the ability to predict economic trends and risks. In addition, the family adheres to a strict corporate culture and high standards of professional ethics. This book makes it clear that power and influence are not an accident, but the result of a lot of work. Huge capital means not only great opportunities, but also a great responsibility. People who are not able to earn a lot of money themselves consider wealth to be evil. That is why the richer and more successful people are, the more often they become heroes of conspiracy theories. At the same time, people who are busy saving and increasing their wealth simply have no time to waste time coming up with insidious plans. Of course, the richer a person is, the greater their power and influence, and yet we should never forget that each of us is just a person. Do you think that people are still able to rule the world, or there are higher powers? Please share your opinion in the comments below.